What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the It's Been Real podcast, episode 8.
Episode 8, everybody. That is insane.
You say that every episode, bro.
Every episode I say that, but think about it, bro. 8 weeks. We
Yeah,
have
8
been
straight
doing this
weeks.
nonstop.
Yeah.
It is, honestly, it's been so fun.
Yeah, it
I've
has.
enjoyed it. So,
Yeah.
But, sorry.
I was like, what? What up,
yeah,
bro?
you're staring at me like you ready for me to go.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Like we said in the last podcast, if you're new here, we just started a new thing where we are going to read our Bible verse that has helped us through this whole week. We're starting this because if you missed it in the last episode, Austin had an awesome testimony that he shared, and we really just wanted to start doing this. We felt like we were led to. We feel like we can reach one person, then that's all that matters. So Austin, what is your your verse that has helped you through this week?
Yeah, so mine for this week is going to be Proverbs 27:17, which basically states iron sharpens iron. And the reason that this clicked with me this week is because I've been doing my studies. I got a spiral Bible now, which if y'all don't know what that is, it's basically a Bible that's turned into a notebook to where it has the scripture down the middle and it has notes on each side that you can write down and do all that. And I've came up with like a new way of doing notes and everything. And I've been deep in it. I've been doing the thing. I've been listening to nonstop worship. I just been in it. I don't know what's going on with me, but I got this calling on me and I just need to fulfill it. But basically, iron sharpens iron. I was seeking God, and hopefully I have the chance to help somebody else seek God and sharpen their iron as God is sharpening my iron. He's sharpening me to be more knowledgeable and more closer to Him than I've ever been. So I definitely am on that path right now. I'm actually going to, this week I travel for work to Chattanooga. I'm actually going to the Ramp in Chattanooga, which is like a church that started in Hamilton, Alabama. Damon Thompson was actually one of the main speakers of that church, and I used to go to the conferences when I was little, and I found out there's one literally 4 minutes from the hotel.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That I stay at. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get up early and I'm gonna go in the morning, see what it's about.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what you got? What's your verse for the week?
Yeah, let me. It's Proverbs 22:6, and it reads, "Direct your children onto the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave it." So what I get from this, and if like every version is going to be different, so I'm reading NLT version.
Me too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know like a lot of people use like NIV and stuff like that, but to me it's easier to understand in the NLT version than like King James.
Yeah.
But it says, "Direct your children onto the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave it." What I got from that, if y'all don't know, if you're new to the podcast, I have a 2-month-old. She just turned 2 months yesterday, and so it just basically just lets me like I need to lead her into the right path, especially in this generation. A lot of things are messed up in this generation. So if I can lead her in the right path and parent her through what Christ wants me to, like Christ lead me to parent her, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, Christ flows into you and through into her.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to get at. But yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, so I want to do that, and right now she's not gonna know who Jesus is, but we can do little things like read the Bible to her, like her Bible stories. We can sing "Mary Had a Little Lamb," stuff like that, just to whenever she is older, she'll be like, "Hey, what is this talking about?" And as I develop like my knowledge of the Bible and my intelligence and stuff like that, once I get that, then I can be a leader to her and really show her how Christ saved us, all this. So if I just go ahead and start carving the right path for her, then it's going to be smooth sailing for her. So whenever she has a kid, then she can carve the right path.
Yeah.
So that's out on my heart, because it just letting me know that, hey, make sure you're doing the right things. Make sure you're making a great example to her and to all these things. So, but yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, that's really good. And to bounce off, because it kind of relates to mine, just yours is with your kid and mine's with myself
Right.
onto others. But to kind of put that into a perspective, so what I came up with is, the crystal that's like a prism.
Yeah.
So where it's like got all kinds of size and it's points at each end. So when light shines through that, it reflects in all kinds of different directions. And I feel like even in this and in your life with your kid and us doing this podcast, I feel like we definitely have an opportunity to reflect God's teachings onto others, even if it's one person. If we plant a seed into one person, they could go out there and grow gardens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
So
that's what I was just about to say. Even if we reach one person, you know, we could only reach one person, but that one person could go and reach 5 people, and then those 5 people can go and reach 32 people, and then 32 people can reach 100. And I mean, it's like a pyramid.
yeah,
Um, you know, it's just, if we can develop the knowledge and develop the skills of, answering questions and, all that stuff, then, we could definitely carve a path to other people.
yeah,
And it's really awesome. I mean, just thinking about, I mean, yeah, it's just amazing.
yeah. I think we have a great opportunity here, and we have a better opportunity to kind of learn everything for ourselves. Because, mind y'all, we don't fully have a whole understanding of the Bible. Like, we can't cite you the Bible from cover to cover. We can't tell you exactly what Bible verse sticks with us. We can tell you like an idea of where it's from, but we can't tell you like, hey, Hebrews 6:17 says this.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have the mind like that yet, but we're wanting to get to that point. So keep in mind that a lot of the things that we say is just from personal experience and personal opinion and personal readings. It's not always just a whole front to back type deal. This is kind of our thing.
Yeah, I get you 100%. Well, do you want to get out of this little segment? You have anything else you want to add?
No, good here.
Okay, cool. Well, we got a story today. And I have a witness this time, and Austin right there.
That'd me.
Yeah, he's the witness to this. So, you know, we were a little hungry, and we were driving from Target. We were heading back to my house, and uh, I was like, "Well, what do you want to eat?" He was like, "I don't know." And so I started getting up close to Bojangles, and I was like, "Oh, let's go to Bojangles." Okay, I want to ask y'all something. All right.
Here it is.
Bojangles is not just a breakfast place. I just want everybody to know that, if you are unaware of that, because this guy over here,
I had no idea.
no idea.
I thought
He
it was just a
thought all
breakfast
they
place.
did was sell Bowberry biscuits and
Bowberry
Bowberry cookies.
cookies?
That's all he thought they sold. He didn't know anything. So, but yeah, we were pulling up next, or I was telling him, like, let's just go to Bojangles. They have a really good chicken sandwich, and he looked at me dumbfounded, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, no, this is like an IHOP, dude. Don't
Yeah,
lie
no,
to me.
I've only ever had breakfast from there. I didn't even know, like, I thought they was open from like 5 a.m. to like 9, honestly.
It's crazy. But anyway, so with the story, I know last week we talked about drive-throughs and our biggest pet peeves and stuff like this. And we're not going to drag this out on every episode, but I just wanted to share it because I thought it was hilarious. Because I got embarrassed in
Yeah.
this one. So we
Buddy's
pull.
face was about as red as his shirt right now.
Oh yeah, it was so red. So we pull up to the speaker, and I was like, let me get 2 number 10s, no pickle on one of them, Pepsi Zero on the other, and then sweet tea on the other one. So she was like, okay, pull up, whatever. Pull up to the window, and she was like, all right, the total was 1912. I was like, okay. I was like, that was a good year. And she was like, what? I said that was a good year. And she just looked at me, and she was like, this is literally how she looked. She was like, And I was like, oh my gosh. She did not like it at all. She didn't like a single bit of that.
She didn't laugh. She didn't acknowledge anything. She just ignored him.
Just ignored. And then as we were sitting there and it was just awkward after that, the sliding door, like the drive-through door, just literally closed like that. Just like very slow. And I was just like, I was sitting in the front seat and I was like, yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
She opens it up, gives us our drinks. She was like, can you pull around to the door? And I was like, I sure can. And she actually came out and handed us the food. We were sitting there for a minute, but she handed us the food. I was like, all right, thank you. Have a great day. She didn't say a word, bro.
She didn't say anything. She just gave you the food and turned around and walked away. She didn't
Yeah.
care. She didn't look back. She didn't say thank you.
Yeah,
She didn't do nothing.
it was crazy.
Yeah. Anyways,
we're gonna take a quick break real fast. Sorry about that, guys. My baby was upstairs crying, so I had to go attend the baby. So,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, the story of the Bojangles, is that where we left off?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. It was so stupid. I was so just like, I don't know. I felt embarrassed. And I usually don't get embarrassed at all, but I was definitely embarrassed. It was terrible.
it was kind of funny though.
It was fun. It was funny. I mean, we had a good laugh.
Yeah.
But so I know you have something on your list that you want to talk about, and I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I think you told me it was a surprise, and I don't know what to expect, but here we go.
So I have a question to ask, and I want you to be open-minded about it.
Okay, my mind's open.
Okay. So you know the. So you know the movie Cars, right? From Disney.
Is that the one where there's cars?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
actually.
know that movie. Yeah, I
Okay.
know Cars.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so here's the question I have. So Lightning McQueen, you know, like the main character in the
Yeah.
movie that has cars.
Yeah, the red one.
Anyways,
Good God.
so I want to know this. Do you think that he has life insurance or car insurance?
Okay. He has car insurance.
No, he doesn't. He has life insurance.
No. So
Okay,
he
let's
has.
get into this.
Here we go. So he has car insurance. You know why? Because he's a freaking car.
Okay, why do we have life insurance? Because we're a human life. So they're a car life. So explain how they don't have life insurance, but they have car insurance. They don't drive cars because they are cars. Like that's how they live.
They got
That's their
car
life.
insurance. They have car insurance.
But that's their life. Like they don't hop into another car and be like, let me drive this one today. No, they're themselves. Their life forms, they're just cars instead of humans.
But
Ooh.
I do.
Ooh, it
understand.
sunk in for a second there.
No,
He was
no,
like,
no,
maybe he's
listen.
right.
No, it's not. Maybe you're right. It's the fact that you are making good sense, but you got to also think of you're talking about me having an open mind. I'm open. I'm open. Okay.
All right.
You're not open.
I'm open.
No, buddy, you're closed. You're closed like a steel gate. Anyway,
Steel gate has bars that you can see through. So, technically it's
it is open.
it's open.
Anyway, so they have car insurance because they're cars, just like we have life insurance because we're humans. So, if a tire pops, then they which hold on. I also want to say something right now. In the movie, when have you ever seen them pay with a card or anything? So do they even pay for anything? That's a backup question.
I don't know
Because
if they do or not.
whenever they were in the town and all that stuff, whenever at the end of the movie of Cars, they were in the town and it got crowded and people were getting gas and tires and all this stuff. When did they ever pay for anything?
I don't know. They always talked about the white wall tires being so expensive, though. And when Sheriff gave Lightning McQueen his first fill up in Radiator Springs, he said that he'll cover him.
Yeah, but
So,
they can
they
talk
didn't
about
show
it.
that they paid it,
Yeah,
but
they
it
can-
seems like they did.
Nah,
So okay, let's say a tire pops. That's the same thing as us breaking an arm.
yeah, but that's we don't use life insurance for that though. We use health insurance.
Okay.
So our life insurance, you know what life insurance is, right?
Yes, I do. It's where when you die, you get this amount of money.
Okay, so you're talking about life insurance.
Yeah. So like
And
if
car
Lightning
insurance.
McQueen died,
So
is he have a life insurance policy that kicks in to go to what's her name? What's the Porsche's name?
I don't know.
His
Oh,
girlfriend,
Sally?
Yeah.
No, but
Or
the better
does-
question would be, does cars have car insurance or health insurance?
I mean, that's a good point.
That
too.
would be a better question instead of life insurance, because life insurance is totally different. Because
Yeah.
like, that's after you die. That's not something that you use. Like if, like you said, if cars, like in the movie Cars, if they pop a tire, would they use car insurance or health insurance? Because it would be equivalent to us breaking an arm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point.
I would
But
say
even
health
on
insurance.
the life insurance and car insurance thing, like, okay, we have a life insurance policy. Like, I think mine's like $200,000. Okay, my car insurance policy is whatever it's worth, which is probably about $5,000. So you think when Lightning McQueen dies that he gonna give Sally $200,000 or $12,000?
I don't know. But also, you gotta think about in the movie Cars. Do they ever like break down? Like, cause like regular cars, like they break down and there's no fixing.
Bro,
it, really.
you don't remember Rusty's?
No,
You don't remember?
I didn't
Bro,
watch the whole.
Why would there
like,
be a tow mater? The same
I
thing
don't
as an
know.
ambulance.
It's like tomato without the toe. Ain't that what he says?
I
Wait,
don't remember what he said.
Mater.
Tow mater.
It's like tomato without, or I don't even know.
Something like that. Sure.
Something.
We'll let you have it. But I'm just saying.
I
So
don't know.
like I don't know either. I thought it was a good question.
It is a great question. That's
Yeah.
all I was just about to say. It's a great question. But I'm gonna stick with they have car insurance. I don't have, like, both arguments are very valid, but I'll call Pixar.
Okay.
Excuse me. Yes, can I speak to Mater?
There it is.
Hey, quick question. Do y'all have car insurance or health insurance? Yeah. Okay.
Health
All
insurance.
right, sounds good.
Health insurance.
Yeah, he didn't want to answer.
He didn't wanna answer.
No, he said he got car insurance.
No, they have health insurance.
I just talked to Mater.
Look,
You
ain't got connections
So, yeah, that was a great question.
So I also wanted to do. I know that we talk about our childhood a lot, but I don't think that we've gotten it aired out there enough yet. So I kind of wanted to dive into it a little bit more. And I also have like I wouldn't say story. I would say based on my childhood. It's kind of like a story that happened when I was a child. So I'm gonna start out with that. So when you was younger, when we was kids, we played outside a lot. We
Mhm.
threw footballs. We threw tennis balls. We rode on little battery powered stuff and gas powered stuff and all kinds of stuff. Everything was outside.
Right.
If you had a swing set, you was the house everybody was going to. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when I was younger, I think I was like 5 or 7 or something like that. I had this battery powered 4-wheeler
Mhm.
that I rode the battery out of. Literally, like the battery eventually just like wouldn't charge anymore. So we used to have a trampoline out there. It was just your normal trampoline. I didn't have the side nettings on my trampoline, which I don't really understand why I didn't. But I never had side nettings on my trampoline.
I don't think I did either.
Really?
Yeah, I
Cool.
thought that was something that you were like really cool.
Yeah, if you had the side net.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I had that either.
I didn't have it. Anyways, so I used to ride my 4-wheeler underneath the trampoline because it was just fun. Like
Mhm.
you would just ride and you'd go under the trampoline. You'd feel so cool, like being like all secretive and stuff, and just pop out. So move on to my 10, 11-year-old age. I got a gas powered 4-wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't know is that the gas powered 4-wheeler was a little bit taller than the battery powered four.
Oh my gosh.
So, first thing I do, hop on it, crank it up. You know where I'm heading? Under that trampoline.
No, you're not.
Buddy, I tell you, I went under that trampoline and I used to have like a dirt bike helmet that I wore with it. And I went under it and I got stuck. My plastic on my helmet got stuck on the edge of the trampoline and I was stuck like this. So, move on to a later part of life. I was about 12, 13. I get like a big four-wheeler. Like I had a Suzuki Eiger 450, 400, something like that. So my dad decided, hey, let's go like explore. I was like, cool, let's do that. So he hops on and he takes me with him. So I'm sitting in front of him. Mind you, there's a gear shifter right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right here.
Wow.
So we're going around and he's taking me through all the places that he used to go to. And there was a spot that it was like a big open area that was under construction or whatever. So it was like a big dirt track around this pond. So he's going really fast around this dirt track, about 30, 40 miles an hour. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something like that. And we come up on this 6-foot trench that nobody saw coming. Except for me when I said, uh-oh. And we went down in this trench 30, 40 miles an hour, and you know where that gear shifter went? Boom! Oh, buddy, I tell you, I've never cried so hard. So hard in my life. I got up and I was like, oh, my balls. Like, crying. And Dad's over here laughing because, like, what else are you supposed to do, bro?
Right.
You're supposed to over there be like, it's okay? No, you sit there and laugh.
Yeah,
if
you
it
laugh
happened
at
to
it.
somebody else, I'd have laughed too. Dude, I have never had a series of events throughout my life with a four-wheeler that was so bad. Because then when I was 16, I got a different four-wheeler. It wasn't a manual, so you didn't change gears on it. It was automatic electronic fuel injected. So I'm riding it. And you know what I do? I break my arm. And I was 14, I think. Somewhere around in there. I had like a four-wheeler like a lot. So I think I was 14. And I was doing donuts in fresh cut grass. And if you've never done that, buddy, let me tell you, you be spinning. So I'm sitting here, I'm spinning. And I cut, and I didn't know my tire was flat. So the rim cut into the ground, knocked me off of it. And the front of the four-wheeler landed on the bend of my arm, and I broke it. Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
And then I haven't had a four-wheeler since.
Yeah. I mean, I would stay away from. I had one four-wheeler incident, and we were actually in my aunt's. It was at her wedding, and I don't know why they had a four-wheeler there. I want to say it was at their wedding. I don't know. I know we were at the place where she had her wedding originally. So I'm not sure if it was there. Anyways, I was on a four-wheeler. And I was going super fast too. And it looked like a wide open field. And the trench got me. Because as soon as I was going so fast, and when I hit that trench, my head went down. And I bit into my lip. I still, to this day, I can still feel like the little knot in the back of my lip from when I bit down on it. And it hurt. So I was bleeding like crazy. And the mouth, if you didn't know this, is one of the fastest healing, fastest healing parts of your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's still like, I can still feel it. I just checked. Yeah, I still got it.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
But yeah, I wanted to talk about more of so we always talk about our good experiences when we were childhood. I want to get into the traumatic experiences. So I'm going to let you think of one while I tell this other story of when I was younger.
Okay.
So I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes April 12th, 2014. April 20th, roughly, because I was in the hospital for 2 weeks getting all that situated. Like the day that I come back from being a type 1 diabetic, when I grew up, I always had a bicycle. It didn't matter what. I rode a bicycle every day when I came home from school. I rode a bicycle all day on the weekends until like I got a four-wheeler or whatever. And sometimes I even still rode it because it was just more fun occasionally than it was to ride a four-wheeler, especially with all the crap that happened. But I get literally the day I come back, I get on my bike. And my cousin, I used to live like literally 300 yards from my cousin. And she was gonna go check the mailbox, which we had like a long dirt road, so it was like down this hill and back up this hill and like around the corner on the main highway. And I was like, I'll race you there. So I hop on my bicycle and I'm zooming. I'm going like super fast on this little bicycle, and all of a sudden I hit a bump and my brake lines on the bicycle, they got twisted or something, so I couldn't turn at all.
Yeah.
So I tried to turn and I couldn't, and I ended up wrecking. And I turned the handlebars, and I fell over it. And when I fell over it, the handlebars like landed like this. So when it landed here, it stuck into the ground, and then my chest hit this side of the handlebar, and I fell off, and I broke 4 of my ribs right here. I still have the imprint on my chest from the handlebars, and I was 14. I still have the imprint scar from when that happened.
That's insane.
It's pretty impressive.
Well, knock on wood, I've never broke a bone at all. I don't know. I was very careful as a kid.
I wasn't. I was a hellion.
Yeah. No, I was pretty. I would say, and you're probably going to make fun of me because mine wasn't breaking any bones or anything like that. But I got 2 stories that were pretty
All
traumatic.
right, let's go. Let's go.
We'll start with the first one. So we moved into this new neighborhood. And, I was walking the streets. I was just checking it out. And I actually met some, like, kids and stuff like that. And they were a big part of my childhood, honestly. Like, I still know every single one of them. I don't talk to them like I used to. But, if I see – like, I saw one the other day. And we sat and talked for a good 5 minutes and just caught up with each other. And but, yeah, they played a big part in my childhood. But, anyways, I was standing and – it was like I specifically remember exactly where I was standing. It was, if you're coming down the road, you can go straight, you can take a right, or you can take a left. It's basically 4-way right there in the neighborhood. And so I was standing in the middle of that 4-way, and I had no idea which way to go to my new house.
Yeah.
And so I was looking around, I was trying to find where we lived, and I could not find it for the life of me. And I remember sitting there and just start bawling my eyes out and just like, I can't find home. I don't know where to go. I'm going to be stuck out here forever. Like I thought I was somewhere where I'd never been. Like it was so traumatic to me because I thought I was gone. Like I thought I was going to have to start fending for myself and, eating bugs or like all this stuff. I was so traumatized, but the kid that played a huge part of my childhood, he came over there and he was like, "Hey man, you live down there." And keep in mind, I was like 12, 13, something like that. Well, no, maybe younger than that, honestly. Can't remember exactly when it was, but I mean, I was young. So, but yeah, he saved the day. The second story was we were all riding bikes. And going to my house, this is in the same neighborhood, going to my house, there's like this steep hill. And then once you get to the very bottom of the hill, there's like a cul-de-sac kind of.
Yeah.
My house was on the right. There was another house on the left. But straight, like there wasn't another house right there. It was just woods.
Yeah.
So I was going down the hill fast. The brake stopped. And I was like, I'm about to die. And I was yelling and screaming. And I remember like stomping my feet down. And whenever I did that, it flipped the bike.
Yeah.
And it like, oh my gosh, I got road rash, like all this stuff all over me. And yeah, it hurts so bad. But I do remember doing that. And I don't think my parents knew that happened. Because after that, I went to my buddy's house that lived like right up the street, and his grandmother was in there. Or no, not his grandmother, sorry. His mom was in there, and she like bandaged me up and did all that stuff.
Didn't notice the big bandages on your arm?
Well, no, like we took it off before I went in there, and it wasn't like my face wasn't messed up or anything, and so like I just kind of hid it because I was scared that if they found out that I hurt myself, they wouldn't let me out.
Yeah.
Which that's not what would have happened, but
Yeah.
I always second guessed myself as a kid.
I did too.
It was insane. But yeah, I would say that one was probably very traumatic. Did you ever play? Speaking of childhood stuff, and did you ever play like like the football game where we called it smear the? I don't want to say that word,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying. Like,
no, I have no idea what you're talking about.
okay, so basically what you do, you just throw the football up, and whoever gets the football, you have to like run away from everybody.
So
and-
rugby.
Basically, like
Okay.
they could tackle you, and then once you get tackled, you throw it back up in the air, and then somebody else catches it, and then you would have to go and tackle them.
Yeah.
We used to play that all the time.
Never played that.
I got laid out one time, buddy. Let me tell you, I'm not kidding. We were playing with one kid that actually played football,
Yeah.
and so I got the ball, and I never played tackle football. I didn't like getting hurt, obviously, because I never broke a bone.
Yeah.
Hated it. So I was running and I was juking everybody out, and then I stopped for a second to catch my breath. That dude, he did not stop.
He coming right at you.
Boom, like picked me up off the ground. And keep in mind, I was very small. If you knew me as a kid, I was so short, like small, skinny, fragile,
Yeah.
so small. And he picked me up and like slammed me down, knocked the breath out of me, and oh my gosh! After that, I don't think I ever played again. I was like, I'm done,
Yeah.
guys.
I think it's the traumatic moments in your childhood that really humble you, though.
Yeah,
Like, looking back
I
on it
agree.
now, like, if that hadn't happened, like, I'd probably be some wimp little kid, you know?
exactly. Yeah,
Or wimp adult.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. We used to hang around the green electrical box. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The green electrical box.
Yeah. So like, if you ever lived in an apartment,
No. Never lived in an
or
apartment.
yeah, you don't have one anywhere, but like in like an apartment complex, or like I don't know if they have them no, they do have them in like townhomes and stuff like that, but there's this big green box, and it's an electrical box or something that I think it's the cover that runs like all the wires to different
Oh, okay.
thing,
Yeah.
like street lights maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what it's used for, but I remember we all circling around that, sitting on there and just talking, having a good time. Like I remember doing that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I could go back, dude.
Dude, I tell you what, and I say this all the time, if I could go back to kindergarten and have all those naps I miss, bro, I'd be a better person.
Dude, I hated nap time.
I did too.
Hated it.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before, but
I think we did.
yeah, hated it. But to end our little childhood segment, I wanted to ask one last question.
Okay.
When you was younger, what was your favorite, like, Disney movie? Or favorite
Favorite-
movie that you just loved?
Uh,
Animated.
Animated.
Yeah, animated.
I really liked The Lion King.
Bro, I was going to say the same thing, and I have a story about this, but continue.
That was it. I just really liked The Lion King. It was I don't know. I think the vibe of the movie was pretty good.
Yeah.
That and oh my gosh, I can't even think of it. Like Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. was good.
That was a good one. But that's not Disney. That's Pixar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it ain't got to be Disney, just anything animated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's between those two, Monsters Inc. and Lion King.
One thing I didn't like about Monsters Inc. is that they came out with Monsters University after Monsters Inc. Like, they
Yeah.
went back and told the backstory. I would have rather had the backstory and then found out what they did after, as to knowing what they did after and finding out why they did it.
But I wonder if it would have been the same scenario though. Like I wonder if it would have gotten that many hits because everybody loved Monsters Inc.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
like if they came out with Monsters University, they would have been like, why in the world are they just going through a university to scare kids
Yeah.
and stuff? And then like I think if you watch the first one and then you watch University, then you're like, okay, I understand where they're going through and stuff like that. But if you you know what, that's a goal. I want you to go and watch Monsters University first, and then I want you to watch Monsters Inc. right at like the very first Monsters Inc. and see if it makes sense. Like keep in mind, like try to flush out your mind of what's going on. Just watch Monsters University and then Monsters Inc. and
Okay.
see. Because I bet you it would be a totally different thing.
Oh, it'd be a lot different. But
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Figure
That's
out
just
which way.
What?
I don't know. Here we go.
What?
Figure out which way you like to watch it.
Yeah, yeah. So to piggyback off of the Lion King, so when I was little, I had these Lion King shoes, bro. Let me tell you, these Lion King shoes was my life for like 4 years. I got to the point to where my toes in the front of it was so crunched up that like it was just little nubs hanging out in there because I loved those shoes so much. My parents threw them away 3 or 4 times and I pulled them out of the trash can and I said, They were Lion King, so they were like black and white and they had like Lion or Simba when he was little, Mufasa and Nala like standing up on the rock. Like, I don't think that ever happened in the movie like that, but they was standing there, and it would light up as it was, like, flashing in the sunlight. Dude, them shoes made me run so fast, let me tell you.
Sure.
I'm so serious. When you know when you're little and you get a new pair of shoes, you're like, these definitely make me run faster.
Yeah.
Dude, I kept on to those shoes for, like, I swear to you, like 4 or 5 years. Like, I pulled them out of the trash can multiple times. My parents tried to get rid of them. I don't know whatever happened to them. But I know that
they threw them
fought 'em.
away.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just don't know where. Because every time they threw it in our trash can in the house, I pulled them out. They threw them in the trash can. Like, we had a big dumpster. Pulled them out. Like, I loved those shoes. And I don't know how I ever got over that, but I'm glad I did.
That's crazy. Yeah, I never had any, like, shoes like that I can remember. Did you wear Skechers, like light up Skechers?
Dude, yes.
See, I don't,
Loved it.
and I don't know why, but I do not remember, like, those small little features in my child. Like, I don't remember all that stuff. So I really don't even know if I wore light up Skechers, but if I did, I feel bad for myself.
Yeah.
I just, every time I see light up Skechers now, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Which they're cool for the kids. The kids love them. And so
Yeah.
if they're having a good time, that's all that matters.
Right.
But to me, I'm like, please tell me I didn't wear that. Please.
It's like the Amazon kiosk shoes where the whole bottom of the sole lights up and you're
Oh
like,
my
bro,
gosh, yes.
seriously?
I will say, I did have one pair of light up shoes, and they were the light up off brand Yeezys.
Oh, yeah, dude. I
Did
know
you
what you're talking about. No, I did not because I thought they were stupid. But I do know what you're talking about.
Dang. No, they had a button, and I used to think they were real because, like, there was one rich kid that actually had a pair of Yeezys.
Yeah.
And I begged my parents for it. I was like, please, I want Yeezys. I want Yeezys. And they're like, no, they're way too expensive. And I remember they were like, hey, are these what you're looking for? These light up. And I was like, those are it. And I didn't know it, but I was like, yes, get those. And I remember wearing them to school, and there was like this little white button that
you pressed that changed all the
yes.
colors?
Yes, and I loved it. Oh, it was so cool.
Dude,
But
I remember I was the master at Heelys, bro.
oh, I was too.
Dude, you could not mess with me in some Heelys.
Dude.
I was a pro at like 4 years old.
Please tell. I feel like every boy, and I'm sure some girls had them too.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I only saw guys wear them.
Yeah, me too.
But dude, we would run in Walmart was the best place.
Walmart
for
and
it.
Lowe's.
Yes.
Walmart and Lowe's was the only places you could do it. Then
Oh
just
my
silky
gosh.
smooth, bro. You could just run and then you could just skate up and
Oh,
down
yeah.
every aisle for
Yeah.
like 10 minutes and then you would have to run again. Like, it was so cool.
Oh yeah, you would. I mean, I'm talking about like build up some speed, dude,
Yeah.
and then just flick your
Just
heels up. And, did you ever have a hoverboard?
I didn't.
I did. So my parents were so scared for me to have a hoverboard because when they first came out, they started like catching fire and stuff, and so they're like, no, you're not getting one. But every single time, like, I still to this day know how to ride a hoverboard,
Yeah.
and I wish as a kid I had one.
Yeah. I never had any room to ride a hoverboard. Like, most people
Yeah.
ride hoverboards outside. Like, I'm not trying to just do circles around my island in my kitchen, you know what I mean? Or my dining table.
Yeah, no, I agree. And now that I think about it, I think it would have been a stupid thing.
Yeah.
You know, you want things as a kid just to be like, oh yeah, I got it, I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, if I would have had that, because where I lived and when I wanted it, all I had was carpet.
Yeah, same.
So, and I lived in an apartment. So there, literally no way that I could have like sat there and rode that all day long, and that would have drove the people underneath me so crazy.
Yeah, probably.
You never lived in an apartment, did you?
No.
No. See, we moved. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've moved 5 times.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I moved when I was born, I lived in a trailer. Then I moved to a house in Gardendale. Then I moved to a small apartment. Then moved to a different apartment, and then to Hayden.
Wow.
I moved 5 times. Anyways,
And now you're here.
apartments, huh?
And now you're here.
Now I'm here. Well, so I moved 6 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. But I hated living on the bottom. Like, I think we lived on the bottom in our, we did in our first apartment that we lived in. We were at the bottom, and you could hear people walking around, stuff like that. Plus, this is going to get kind of gross, but if the people upstairs aren't living a very clean lifestyle,
Right.
then you get all their crap. So, like, we would have roaches and stuff like that, and it wasn't coming from us.
It was coming from the people above you.
From the people above us, and it was so bad.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine. Dude.
Oh, it sucked.
I know that we never, as far as I know, we never lived in an apartment. The only places that I know that we lived in is we had a rental house in Center Point, like around the time I was born.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved into the trailer up on the hill with the family. It was in the middle of nowhere, dirt road. You've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, sorry.
No, it's okay.
It was going through my head, so it was a little funny there. Anyways, yeah, I lived there, and then I moved into the house that we're in now. Oh, wait, I lived in Cleveland, too.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I lived in Cleveland for a little while. Dude, I love that place with all my heart. We had a big, huge house, and we had 2 ponds. So we had one that was on our property, and we had one that was like on the road that we lived on, because it was like a half-mile just gravel road.
Mm-hmm.
And the other people, they owned like all this property behind us that was like all bunch of cows and stuff like that. And my room upstairs was like, so there was like a downstairs that had a living room, a kitchen, and then it went into a hallway with 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And then upstairs, it was a whole den, and then a bedroom and a bathroom and a walk-in closet. Well, I used the den as my bedroom, and it had a big, huge bay window that overlooked the whole pond. Dude, that was like so cool.
Yeah, I've always wanted to live somewhere with like a pond or some type of water system, like in a backyard or something.
The only thing that wasn't so cool about it is that at night, since we lived like mostly around farmland, at night. Now, let me just go ahead and put this out here before this story. So they say Alabama does not have any wolves. Let me tell you, go to Cleveland, Alabama. Tell me that ain't some wolves. So when we moved into this house, we had we had just moved in. We had goats for a little while. Well, we started realizing that our goats started disappearing. There was like nothing of them. Like they was just gone. So then we put them in a crate, like a dog crate, when we would go to bed at night. And they would still wind up missing with the gate locked on the dog crate. Started being a little weird. So it was one day that I went fishing, like I was driving my 4-wheeler around, going fishing or whatever, and then I kept hearing something, I could feel like something was stalking me. So I climb up on the porch, and I can see out of my peripheral an animal standing there. And my mom used to love the front porch, so she would sit there all the time. And I told her to look at the end of the porch, and there was I'm not kidding you, probably this tall, black wolf standing there staring at us in like a crouched position. And we run in the house, dude. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that there ain't a black coyote. I'm just saying. If there is, cool. I ain't never seen a black coyote stand that tall.
That's crazy.
With its back. I've never been scared. Like at night, if an ambulance went by, our whole house would surround with howls. Like the whole house. Anywhere that you turned, you could hear a howl coming from it. That was scary.
I would hate that. I've never had any experience like that, like a wild animal. Like, I don't think I've really seen anything crazy like that besides at the zoo.
Yeah. I got one more story and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
When I was also younger, I used to have this mountain lion that stalked me for most of my life. Never really understood what it was, but when we moved up there on the hill on family land, I used to have this mountain lion that if I was playing in the yard at night, it would stand far away, but it would just like sit there and watch me. And like my parents even know about this, and they can tell you that this is 100% true. So the mountain lion would just stand there and stare at me like up throughout my whole life. And then there was a time that my dad had this orange 4-wheeler that was like super fast, and we was going through the woods, and I don't know where we was, but we would like drive through the woods and we would stop and we would look around and we would see the mountain lion sitting there in like a crouch position, like stalking us. And then we would like take off and we would go like further back in the woods or somewhere closer to the road, and we would stop and we would listen for a second and we would hear it walk and we would look around and we would see it again. And like it happened like 3 or 4 times, and then we just left and went back to the house. And then one time my dad was coming back home from work, and the mountain lion jumped across the hood of his truck. All the way across the hood. Like it stretched out all the way across the hood. Like, I'm not kidding. That's how long it was.
Yeah.
And then when I moved into the house that I'm in now, we never saw it. But when I moved into the Cleveland house, like it showed up a couple of times. But then when I moved into the house I'm in now, we haven't seen it since. But that was so weird. Like having some random mountain lion just follow me most of my life. Like it never hurt me. It never touched me. It never got close enough to ever do anything. It just stalked me.
I was
a little weird.
It was trying to plan out. It was planning out its next meal. That's all it was.
I don't know if it was planning out its next meal or if it was just really something spiritual about it. I don't know.
Yeah, it is weird.
It was definitely a weird thing. But anyways, so I'm gonna let you wrap us up.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we appreciate y'all watching this podcast. This was a good one. We talked about childhood and stuff like that. The word that we are going to end with, let's think about it for a second.
Ooh.
Let's whoa.
Let's go through puberty again.
All right, let's go with voice crack.
Okay.
Down in the
There we go.
section.
Voice crack. Make sure you comment voice crack, guys.
Voice crack. Everybody's gonna be like, "What in the world are they talking about?"
Yeah, nobody's gonna know unless you watch the whole episode.
Exactly. So yeah, voice crack sounds good to me. But guys, we want to say we appreciate all the support that we are still getting. We know we're not getting a lot of views on these videos, but like we said, we just want to reach people that don't know Jesus. That's why we started doing these intros, our first segment like that. But we do appreciate every single one of y'all that are a true follower of the It's Been Real podcast. And we definitely love each and every single one of y'all. You want to add anything?
No. That's about it for me. I think that we're on a good path with what we're doing and look forward to see where it leads us,
Yeah, I think next episode we're going to decorate a little bit for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And we're going to start doing some Thanksgiving-y things.
Thanksgiving-y things?
Yes, Thanksgiving-y, whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of like we did with the Halloween segments, but we're just going to do something, talk about Thanksgiving, stuff like that. So stay tuned for the next episode. Remember, we drop our videos every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Yep, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yeah, and if y'all are not following our TikTok, our Instagram, that's it. TikTok or Instagram, make sure y'all look in the bio. We're going to have all that. Or in the description.
There it is.
I do it every time.
Every time.
If y'all look down in the description, we have all that posted there. So
we also have our email posted in there now, so that if y'all have any testimonies that y'all would like to bring to us and let us read, or maybe email us and ask us questions about anything, we are completely open to any of that. So It's going to have our Instagram, our TikTok, and our email in there. So feel free to reach out to us about any questions, anything you want to add, or anything that you disagree with, or really just anything. We're trying to reach you guys. So
yeah, and the more feedback we get, the better we can make these podcasts, and the more interesting we can make it to you or Any feedback is great. So even if it's terrible.
And if you don't want to be talked about in the podcast, make sure that in the email that you send, you state that you do not want to be talked about in the podcast.
Yes, do that for sure.
Yeah.
So, well, all right, guys. Well, like I said, we love y'all and we thank you for all the support. And guys,
It's been real. See you guys.
See ya.